Hey guys, Will here from Waves and Reefs. Just doing a quick flyby on this media reactor from Bulk Reef Supply. Um, I had the mini reactor in the past from BRS and I was really happy with it. I had it hooked up to a 90-gallon tank with running GFO carbon mix, and I was really happy with the results. So I went ahead and picked this one up for the BioCube 29. It's got the Italian-made MJ1200. The Italian MJ1200s are a lot better than the Chinese-made MJ1200. This is from Cobalt Aquatics, so if you pick up an MJ1200 to power your meteor reactor or something else, I don't know what else you might use a Powerhead for in your reef tank or your fish tank, but the Italian-made MJ, nice and quiet. I had one hooked up on another tank for I think it was almost 4 years without any problems at all. And I would you can turn this and pull it apart to get to the impeller. I would service that and cleaned it, but it probably would have been okay without it. So here's a quick look at this, at the reactor. There is a mini, and I think that this one is, I think the body is 10-inch, the canister is 10-inch, but you can also use the mini. They also make a dual, it's two of these, and they also make a deluxe, which has, the head is black. The fittings, the Murloc fittings on the side only come out to about here. And it also has polished, really nice polished canister. So it's almost crystal clear. It's got a slight tint to it, but all in all, they both do the exact same thing. They're both super high quality. You take a look at this. Nice webbing in the front, all the way around, nice thick plastic, really, really heavy duty. It has the feel, and I would say it is commercial quality, commercial grade. Murloc fittings. The whole thing is just really well made. So you can see the water would go in there and then exit the fitting on the right. And the MJ1200 would hook up to this one here. So water in, down, and then it would exit on the right. This is the media cartridge. Also very well made. It's just like the rest of it, extremely well made. A real nice heavy plastic, no brittle feel like acrylic or anything like that. It's also got some spacers in here if you're doing a GFO carbon mix. The spacers keep the media from tumbling. When you do a GFO carbon mix, you don't want the anything tumbling. You don't want it tumbling because the carbon will get crushed by the much harder GFO. So that's something to consider. And if you're running just carbon, you'd also want to use the spacers depending on how much you would space this one down, fill it with your carbon, and then put this one on top so that the carbon's not tumbling. It'll just get crushed, pulverized, powdered. And so that's it. This piece right here simply turns and lifts right out, and then you can utilize your spacers. Now, if you're just using GFO, you can allow it to tumble and just adjust the flow rate. So you don't want it moving a lot. I know it looks cool, but you just want it moving. The GFO, you just want moving enough to turn it over a couple times a day. So if you don't, GFO will just turn into a rock, just get solid. And that's why you don't have to have it tumbling when it's mixed with the carbon, because the carbon and the GFO, there's enough separation of the GFO granulars that they're not going to solidify on you. So, okay, we went over the MJ1200, and it comes with, if you've seen Powerheads before, a couple suction cups. They mount on the three corners here. It's got another little bag of pieces and parts, pre-strainers and other mounts. Most of that won't be used. And then bulk reef supply also gives you two 36-inch sections of a semi-rigid plastic tubing, a nice ball valve. Got the little adjustment knob there to adjust your flow rate. A Murloc union, and then they give you a wrench. See the body of the wrench there to loosen up the filter housing from the head, and some basic instructions. You can go on BRS TV on YouTube or bulkreefsupply.com. They, in the upper left-hand corner, they have a link for BRS TV, and there's hundreds and hundreds of videos on there. Plenty about reactors, different types of media and reactors, so on and so forth. So, yeah, that's it. Quick look at the bulk reef supply single media reactor. And if you're thinking about running carbon and GFO, if you have a reef tank, definitely something you want to do. Keep your phosphates down. Ward off algae outbreaks, and keep your tank just crystal clear, nice crystal clear blue water. I do recommend the carbon, the ROX 0.8 from BRS, and your water will just be super, super polished. It really is incredible. Take a little bit of water out of your tank, maybe a quart, and dump it into a white container of some sort, bottom of a clean 5-gallon bucket or whatever you have, a white container, and see what your water looks like. If you have that yellowish tinge or any slight tint to your water, then the carbon, the ROX 0.8 or bituminous carbon, you're really going to benefit from that. You can also, you don't have to get a reactor. You can throw some in a mesh media bag and drop it into a high flow corner of your refugium or sump, whatever. The only difference is that the water comes in the reactor down through the bottom, forced through the media, and then out. So you get total contact between the water and the media. So the media bag isn't as efficient, but it will work. Some of you may be familiar with ChemiPure. That's basically how ChemiPure works. It's just you put it in a high flow area. Some people drop it in a canister filter. So I know I used to do that for a while, and I stopped using canister filters. It just seemed like they were doing more harm than good. But for me, some people rock the canister filters and really love them. So, all right, guys, that's it. If you have any questions, comments, you can leave those in the section below. And if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. And if you enjoyed the video, you got any information out of it, do me a favor and give it a thumbs up. All right, we'll talk to you probably after the holidays. So everybody have a great holiday. Thanks for checking out Waves and Reefs.